Hey everyone, I'm working to hit 1,000 subscribers, and I need your help to get there. If you enjoy the content, please hit that subscribe button right now.
The tennis world collectively turned its head when Coco Gauff stepped into Melbourne this week. Yes, the American superstar arrived with her rackets, her team, and her championship mentality, but she also brought something else that immediately set social media ablaze. A jaw-dropping New Balance outfit designed specifically for the Australian Open. And let me tell you, this isn't just about looking good on court. This is about identity. It's where the season explodes into life, where reputations are made or shattered, and where the world's best athletes step onto the blue hardcourts under the unforgiving Australian sun to prove they belong in the conversation. For Coco Gauff, this moment carries extra weight. She's no longer the teenage prodigy we marveled at when she stunned Venus Williams at Wimbledon. She's a U.S. Open champion, a consistent threat at every major, and one of the most marketable athletes in any sport. So when she debuts a completely reimagined kit from New Balance, people pay attention, and they should. The design itself is a masterclass in modern athletic fashion. Clean, sophisticated lines meet bold structural elements in a color palette that somehow manages to feel both understated and commanding. There's an elegance to it that mirrors Gauff's playing style, fluid yet powerful, graceful yet relentless. The outfit doesn't scream for attention, yet it commands it effortlessly, much like Coco herself when she steps between the baselines. Just throw together some nice fabrics and call it a day. They engineered this kit specifically for the brutal conditions players face during the Australian Open. We're talking about temperatures that regularly soar past 90 degrees, humidity that makes breathing feel like work, and matches that can stretch beyond 3 hours of pure physical warfare. The fabric technology incorporated into Gauff's outfit addresses all of this. Advanced moisture-wicking materials pull sweat away from the skin. Strategic ventilation zones provide cooling exactly where athletes need it most. The cut allows for explosive movement without restriction, crucial for a player whose defensive speed might be her greatest weapon. Performance apparel at this level is science, and New Balance has clearly done their homework. Every seam, every panel, every technical detail serves a purpose. Because when you're fighting through a third-set tiebreak with the match on the line and your legs are screaming and the sun is beating down mercilessly, you need every advantage you can get. Comfort becomes confidence. Freedom of movement becomes the difference between reaching that drop shot or watching it die on the other side of the net. The relationship between Coco Gauff and New Balance has been one of the most successful athlete-brand partnerships in recent tennis history. From the very beginning of her professional journey, New Balance saw something special in the young American. They didn't just want to sponsor a talented player, they wanted to build something together, to create a partnership rooted in shared values and mutual respect. Over the years, we've watched that relationship mature and deepen. Gauff has had significant input into her apparel designs, ensuring that what she wears reflects who she is, not just what marketers think will sell. This Australian Open kit feels like the culmination of that collaborative evolution. It's more refined than previous iterations, more confident in its simplicity, more aligned with Gauff's status as one of the sport's premier stars. When you look at this outfit, you're not seeing a corporation's vision of what a tennis player should look like. You're seeing Coco Gauff's vision of herself, brought to life through cutting-edge design and performance technology. The reaction from fans has been nothing short of electric. Within hours of the first images surfacing online, social media platforms erupted with commentary, praise, and analysis. Tennis enthusiasts dissected every element of the design. Fashion observers weighed in on the aesthetic choices. Fitness experts discussed the technical innovations. But beyond all the expert opinions, regular fans simply celebrated seeing one of their favorite players looking absolutely brilliant as she prepared to compete at the year's first Grand Slam. Comments flooded in calling it Gauff's best look yet, with many noting how the outfit perfectly captures this moment in her career. She's no longer the underdog surprise. She's a marked woman, someone every opponent circles on their schedule, someone whose game they study and strategize against. The kit reflects that reality. It projects strength without arrogance, sophistication without pretension. It says, I belong here among the elite, and I'm ready for whatever you bring. For young players around the world, many of whom see Coco Gauff as their inspiration and role model, this moment carries additional significance. Representation matters in sports, and Gauff has consistently used her platform to amplify voices and causes that matter. She speaks openly about social justice, mental health, and the pressures young athletes face. She carries herself with authenticity and grace, showing the next generation that you can be fierce on the court and thoughtful off it, that success doesn't require you to abandon your values or silence your voice. When those young players see Gauff step onto Rod Laver Arena in this striking new kit, they don't just see great fashion, they see possibility. They see someone who looks like them, who speaks up like them, who refuses to be diminished or dismissed. They see proof that you can honor where you come from while reaching for the absolute pinnacle of your sport. This debut also arrives at a fascinating inflection point in Gauff's career trajectory. The questions surrounding her have evolved dramatically. Nobody doubts her talent anymore. Nobody questions whether she belongs in the conversation with the sport's best players. The questions now are about championships, about consistency at the highest level, about whether she can string together the kind of sustained excellence that separates good champions from legendary ones. Every Grand Slam becomes a referendum on her progress, a measuring stick against which her career will be judged. Walking into the Australian Open wearing a brand new kit creates a psychological reset, a clean slate feeling that can be incredibly powerful. Athletes talk constantly about the mental side of competition, about finding ways to stay fresh and motivated over the grinding months of a tennis season. Sometimes a new look, a new vibe, a new sense of presentation can spark exactly the kind of mental energy needed to push through difficult moments. Melbourne's blue hardcourts have historically suited Gauff's game beautifully. The surface rewards her explosive athleticism, her court coverage, and her improved serve. Over the past several seasons, we've watched her tactical awareness sharpen, her shot selection mature, and her mental toughness grow. She's learned how to manage the marathon that is a 2-week Grand Slam, how to peak at the right moments, how to recover between matches, how to handle the relentless pressure that comes with being a favorite. The confidence she's carrying into this tournament is palpable, visible in her demeanor during practice sessions, audible in her interviews, and yes, reflected in the bold choice to debut such a striking kit at such an important moment. Champions understand that momentum is real, that belief matters, expression through apparel. The sport's greatest icons are remembered not just for their titles, but for how they looked winning them. Serena Williams' catsuits, Roger Federer's blazers, Venus Williams' eye-catching designs, these become part of tennis mythology, visual shorthand for entire eras of the sport. Coco Gauff understands this history and embraces it. She knows that great tennis moments become greater when paired with memorable presentation. No, a beautiful outfit doesn't guarantee victory, but it becomes woven into the narrative. If Gauff makes a deep run in Melbourne, if she battles through tough matches and delivers clutch performances, this New Balance kit will be there in every photograph, every highlight video, every commemorative montage. It will become inseparable from whatever story this tournament writes for her. Beyond the court, Gauff's influence continues expanding into spaces most athletes never touch. She's a cultural figure, someone who speaks thoughtfully about the world beyond sports, who uses her platform to advocate for change, who refuses to stay in the lane society often assigns to young athletes. Her partnership with New Balance reflects these broader values. The brand has positioned itself as forward-thinking, inclusive, and committed to innovation, qualities that align perfectly with how Gauff sees herself. This Australian Open campaign centered around Gauff sends a clear message about New Balance's priorities and vision. They're not just selling shoes and apparel. They're aligning themselves with an athlete who represents the future, someone whose impact will be measured in decades, not just tournament results. As the competition begins and players start battling through their draws, every Gauff match will add new dimensions to the story. Each victory will reinforce the narrative of a champion hitting her stride, while every challenge will test whether she's truly ready for the sustained excellence she's chasing. The kit will be present through all of it, a constant visual element as the drama unfolds. The Australian Open has earned its reputation as gloriously unpredictable. Early round upsets send shockwaves through draws. Emotional battles stretch deep into the night. Compelling storylines emerge from unexpected places. Navigating this chaos requires incredible focus, adaptability, and mental resilience. For Gauff, the familiarity and comfort of her New Balance kit might seem trivial compared to these larger challenges, but elite athletes know better. At this level, where margins between winning and losing are microscopic, every detail matters. Feeling good in what you're wearing, moving without restriction, staying cool under physical duress, these aren't luxuries, they're competitive necessities. Tennis fans globally will be watching with intense scrutiny, analyzing not just results but process. They'll study Gauff's movement patterns, her tactical adjustments, her body language during pressure points. They'll look for signs of growth, evidence that she's continuing to evolve and improve. And yes, they'll notice her presentation, because in modern professional tennis, image and performance are inextricably linked. Gauff understands this balance better than almost anyone in the sport. She embraces being in the spotlight without letting it distort her priorities or compromise her authenticity. This kit debut also functions as a declaration to her competitors. Gauff isn't tiptoeing into the season, feeling things out or lowering expectations. She's announcing her arrival fully prepared, completely confident, and acutely aware of her capabilities. The outfit becomes a visual representation of that mentality, a signal that she's locked in and ready to compete at the absolute highest level. For New Balance, this moment strengthens their position within the competitive landscape of tennis apparel. Aligning so prominently with a player of Gauff's caliber during a Grand Slam demonstrates their commitment to excellence and innovation. It shows they're not following trends set by larger competitors, but actively shaping the future of what tennis fashion and performance apparel can be. As the first points are contested and the Australian Open officially roars to life, Coco Gauff's journey will unfold one game, one set, one match at a time. Her New Balance kit will be seen under Melbourne Park's brilliant stadium lights, in the scorching heat of day sessions, and during the electric atmosphere of night matches. It will become part of the tournament's visual tapestry, woven into whatever memories this fortnight creates. Whether this Australian Open ends with Gauff hoisting the trophy or serves as another valuable learning experience in her ongoing development, certain truths have already been established. She's entered this tournament with clear purpose, unshakable confidence, and a powerful sense of identity. Her debut New Balance kit transcends mere apparel. It's a symbol of growth, a representation of ambition, a statement of belief. What we're witnessing is the continued rise of a player who's actively redefining what modern tennis stardom looks like. Gauff is showing that you can be commercially successful without compromising your values, that you can embrace fashion and style while remaining deadly serious about competition, that you can be young and still command respect from the sport's veterans and legends. With every step she takes onto the court in Melbourne, Coco Gauff carries more than her own dreams and aspirations. She carries the hopes and inspiration of countless young people who see themselves in her, who draw strength from her example, who believe in possibilities because she's proven them real. The Australian Open represents her next stage, her next opportunity to add to a legacy already more substantial than most players achieve in entire careers. The beauty of sports is that we don't know how this story ends. We don't know if this will be the tournament where everything clicks, where Gauff produces the kind of sustained brilliance that wins majors. We don't know what obstacles she'll face, what rivals will push her to her limits, what dramatic moments will define her campaign. That uncertainty is exactly what makes it compelling, what keeps us watching, what transforms sports from mere competition into something approaching art. What we do know is that Coco Gauff steps onto those blue courts ready, focused, and unmistakably herself. The striking New Balance kit she's chosen for this moment will be remembered, analyzed, and discussed. It will appear in thousands of photographs and videos. It will become part of tennis history, connected forever to whatever happens during these next 2 weeks in Melbourne. This is more than a fashion story, though the fashion is undeniably noteworthy. This is about identity and evolution, about a champion announcing she's ready for the next chapter, about a partnership between athlete and brand that's produced something genuinely special. This is about the intersection of performance and presentation, about understanding that in modern sports both matter deeply. As Gauff begins her Australian Open campaign, she does so wearing an outfit that represents years of collaboration, cutting-edge technology, and thoughtful design. She does so with the confidence of someone who's been here before, who's won on the biggest stages, who knows exactly what championship tennis requires. She does so as one of the sport's brightest stars, someone whose influence extends far beyond the baseline. The tennis world is watching, cameras are focused, and expectations are sky high. Coco Gauff has given us every reason to believe she's ready for this moment. Her game is sharp, her mindset is strong, and her presentation is absolutely on point. The stunning New Balance kit is just the beginning of what promises to be a fascinating Australian Open journey for one of tennis's most compelling figures. So if you've been sleeping on this story, if you haven't been paying attention to what Coco Gauff is building, now is the time to tune in. This is must-watch tennis from a must-watch athlete competing in must-see outfits. The Australian Open has officially begun, and one of its brightest stars has arrived in spectacular fashion. What do you think about Coco Gauff's new Australian Open look? Does the kit match the hype? Can she back up this bold debut with championship tennis? Drop your thoughts in the comments below because we want to hear from you. And if you're not already subscribed to Trending Update USA, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss the biggest stories, the deepest analysis, and the moments that matter most in world tennis. Like this video if you're Team Coco, and share it with anyone who needs to see what we're talking about. This is Stefan bringing you the stories that have everyone talking, and reminding you that in tennis, as in life, presentation matters. The Australian Open is underway, champions are being crowned, and we'll be here covering every dramatic moment. Stay tuned, stay engaged, and let's see what happens next in Melbourne.